Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is JohnJake Gaming on the mic, coming at you guys with, a pretty unique episode that we got going here today, man. We hit the 1K subscriber threshold not too long ago, and so just to thank you guys so much for the support, I did fill out some questions from, you guys in the Discord as well as here on YouTube, and some questions for you guys for this 1K Q&A special, as well as give you guys an update with what's going on with my channel as well, just because we are getting ready to go into, the winter of this year, get into the last month of 2020. So wanted to give you guys an update on the channel because it's been a little bit since the last time I gave you guys an actual channel update. But with all that being said, before getting into these questions, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart once again. I would not have made it at this point without all of you guys supporting the channel consistently. It has been such a fun ride also in the process. But hey, with all that being said though, let's go ahead and get started with some of these questions that you guys have asked me over the last few days leading up to that 1,000 subscriber threshold. And see what you guys ask, starting with my folks in the Discord. Alright, so the first question that I got is from my boy Micah Midiko in the Discord, and what he asked me was, where I end up going to college at, and that Bluffton Beaver series that I have going on right now on the channel, that is actually where my alma mater is. That's what I called home for the last 4 years. That's also where I did cross country and track, did some student senate on the side as well, try to be involved on and off campus as well. But Bluffton University was where I went to school, went there all 4 years, didn't transfer colleges or anything like that. And yeah, that is one I call the good old alma mater, and hopefully I can bring them to a national championship in the current NCAA 14 series that I have going on right now. So then after that, my boy Gio, also in the Discord, asked me, what is my favorite number? And so what my favorite number is, kind of funny story with it actually. My favorite number is actually 14. And the reason why it's number 14 is just because when I was a kid, my mom got me one of these like generic jerseys. Wasn't like involved with any team or specific athlete, but it was like a fake football jersey that had like number 14. So every time I create a player in my career, I don't know why, I always gravitate towards it, but I always pick number 14, and it just happens to be a quarterback's number. So whenever I'm doing like a casual like career mode or dynasty and I'm creating myself in the game, I always put myself at quarterback and I always go with number 14. Or if it's basketball, still number 14, I put myself as like a point guard or even a shooting guard, because shooters shoot in real life. So then after that, moving up, I got Husky Nation FBS in the Discord asking me what's my favorite FBS school. So I was born and raised in the great state of Ohio, and as such I am a huge Ohio State Buckeyes fan, and that's just not for football, but that's also for basketball as well. So I root for Ohio State basketball, root for Ohio State football as well. Through and through an Ohio State guy, because I was born and raised in the Buckeyes state, and I'll always root for them, in the good days and also when we have some bad days as well, because I've been pretty fortunate as a fan, to not have too many bad moments as an Ohio State football fan, at least during my lifetime. So after that, I got Shrek the Scrub 29 in Discord ask me, what do I use to record the gameplay and edit it? So when I edit my videos down, I use DaVinci Resolve. I use that for both my editing as well as for my voice commentary as well, because I'm a post-com guy. I'm not usually, I don't think of myself as someone that's lively enough, to record video commentary, because I'll always be really focused on the game, because you play to win the game, right? So in the moment, I'm really focused and I'll hardly say anything, and sometimes I'll like mutter to myself, I've done, live comm a couple of times. Go check out the Team Builder Wars that I did with King J Mace as well as with K Freezy. But other than that, I'm a post-com guy. Photoshop is what I use for thumbnails, you know, that kind of stuff. And then as for recording my gameplay, you know, I use an HD video capture guy. Want to get to an Elgato eventually, but that's in the cards. Hopefully I get one for Christmas. Shout out to any family members that are watching this video right now. If you want to get me something for Christmas, Elgato is the move. But that being said though, I use an HD video capture card. I'll leave a link to it down in the description because I found it on Amazon and it actually treats me pretty well. So yeah, that's what I use. So then after that, I get a question from Big Geo in the Discord as well, asking what's my favorite FCS school. So we're taking Ohio State out of the equation real quick because that's my obvious favorite, right? Huge Ohio State fan, but at the FCS level, you know, I gotta go with the Dayton Flyers. You know, not only was I born in the great state of Ohio, but, you know, 937 area code guy. Shout out to anybody, you know, representing the 937 area, you know, down there in Southwest Ohio, and more specifically that greater Dayton area. But yeah, huge Dayton Flyers fan. I was really disappointed that we actually didn't have a March Madness because I thought the Dayton Flyers could potentially win the national championship with guys like Obi Toppin, as you know, as well as, you know, got Trey from Wayne High School. You know, that's my high school alma mater. On top of that, there was just great senior leadership. Trey Landers, I don't know why I was blanking on his last name. I went to high school with him, but yeah, man, Dayton Flyers is my favorite, you know, favorite FCS team. After that, I got, you know, who's called Crotchet Athlete on YouTube, but in my Discord we call him Crocker for short, asking me what are my favorite athletes. So gonna start off with the NFL. Joe Burrow is my favorite athlete right now. I love what he's been able to do as a Cincinnati Bengals fan. You know, he really puts the city on his back from a pro football perspective. Hopefully he gets better. That injury that he had a couple weeks ago looked really nasty, and it's going to be tough, you know, to be competitive without him as our starting quarterback. But I really hope that we can protect him because he has a really great future personally. But he's my favorite pro athlete, at least on the NFL. In the NBA, LeBron James. I love what he's done on and off the court, and you know, he's the greatest of our generation. You know, I'm not gonna call him the greatest of all time, like ever, because I think it's really hard to compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James because it's just two separate eras. You can make the argument for both, but he's certainly the greatest of, you know, my generation growing up. LeBron James is, and then pro baseball, Mike Trout. He's just a complete guy. Love what he's doing. And then finally, college football. Justin Fields, man, that dude is an animal. I love watching Justin Fields play. You know, he had one bad game against Indiana, but he has been such a joy to you know, to watch, you know, as an Ohio State Buckeyes fan, you know, because I know I can be a little bit of a homer when it comes to that. So after that, I get another question from Gio, you know, ask me if, you know, I think about if I would actually get this far. And you know, my answer is that, you know, it's kind of yes and no. When I first started the channel, you know, it was during my last semester of college. I didn't really know what I was doing, if I was gonna be, because this isn't my first time doing a YouTube channel. I had a different channel that is a completely different topic, you know, did music covers and all that, and I only got to like 25 subs, like after a year and a half, and just kind of gave up after that. So when I restarted, I didn't have high expectations for myself. I figured it was supposed to be one of those things where, you know, it's going to be a hobby for me, but you know, I've really grown to enjoy making content creation, and really what my dream is to try to go full time, you know, making YouTube videos, and because I really love it, entertaining with you guys, and you know, just being able to interact with you on a day-to-day basis. It's just a dream that I have. You know, it's what I enjoy more than my daytime job personally. But if it's a dream that I can make happen, it does. But if not, you know, it's not going to be because of the lack of trying. But, I mean, I kind of thought I did if I put in the effort. And, you know, I'm thankful that I got to where I'm at right now. You know, just hitting this 1K mark, ironically, on Thanksgiving. So I'm very thankful for that, actually. After that, J1K1999, a.k.a. Johnny Kilo on the YouTube, asked me, you know, what is one inspirational thing you have learned in life? So what my thing has always been is, talent and, character are two different entities, and you need both to be really successful, in my humble opinion. So talent will obviously get you to where I want to be to a degree, but it's that character that's going to keep you there for a long period of time, and I think, if you combine both, being a good guy, is really going to come a long way. Karma's going to come your way, and then obviously putting in that work, as well as, getting better every single time. That's really what I've taken, because I'm not the most natural with this. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually, I was born with autism, so that does make it more difficult for me to communicate my ideas, a little bit more so than maybe what other people would have. So from a communication aspect, that's something that I really had to work on, particularly with the YouTube videos. But we slowly but surely have gotten better, thankfully. And and it's just a lesson that anyone that does have a mental disability right now, you can still do anything that you set your mind to. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something, because if you set your mind to it and you work your butt off, you can make it happen, man, if you just work at it every single day. So then after that, I got Champion36 in my Discord asking me, what is my favorite series to do so far? And so that's a tough one for me. I'm really, obviously, St. Thomas was something that I really enjoyed, especially the second half of that series, just because we really saw the team develop. I guess if I had to choose, I guess I would have to be the ACSA. I love following that league. Personally, just to be able to bring in a 130 team created team dynasty. I wasn't sure if I was going to try again. I tried to do it for Maximum Football 2019, and I just felt that I was like too pressed for time, and I just got burnt out doing it personally. So that's why I stopped doing it back at Maximum Football 2019. But since I am in quarantine, technically, been working from home since March of this year. I've been really using that time, whenever I have extra free time, even when I'm working, I'm able to at least like record content if I need to do that, so I have more time on my hands overall, and thankfully using that time to bring back not only a Maximum Football All Created Teams Dynasty, but then use it, likewise, to bring teams that you guys specifically created through Discord, Patreon, and, YouTube as well. So that's been really nice, although Bluffton is a close second because that is my alma mater, and I would love to take them to a national championship when that series is all said and done. So then the next question I got is from Fish Monkey from the Discord, and he goes by Dual Productions on YouTube. So he asked me, here we go, question that gets asked probably in every Q&A ever. Who inspired you to start YouTube? So I actually had a few influences, when I was first, looking at how NCAA 14, series are made, trying to emulate as much as I could, with the resources that I had for the South Central Louisiana State Dynasty, which was the very first series that I ever did on this channel. What I did was I really had a bunch of different commentary styles, trying to mesh it as best I could. So a few content creators I was looking at, guys like obviously not the expert with the UGF Pandas, but I also looked at guys like GG9 who did hit with the all team builder dynasties for conferences, particularly the Big 12 one. And then I also fell in love, Uncle Sam's Rejects, with how he does his NCAA 14 series. He is a GOAT for college football. And then also Big C God Game as well was someone that I really looked at when I was doing research on, how to go about doing my first series on the channel. Really fell in love with how he did his, his Grambling State Dynasty that he did on NCAA 14. Go check him out if you haven't already. But yeah, those are just a few guys that really inspired me to not only start my own channel, but really try to emulate as much as I can, and still try to emulate to a degree, because they are, in my opinion, the gold standard for the college football gaming community. Alright, so I got one more question in my Discord, and it was, what is your favorite holiday meal since we had Thanksgiving and Christmas is around the corner? So I'm going to divide this up into 2 different tiers. Obviously, you got the main dish. You know, a little bit of a controversial answer, I think, but I think ham is the go-to. I love turkey and all that, but you know, turkey, you know, you see turkey a lot, but I'm also a ham guy. I think ham is really good, particularly on Thanksgiving. And then for my sides, I really love mac and cheese, right? But it has to be a specific, particular kind of mac and cheese, right? Like, it can't just be the Kraft mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. Like, I'll eat it, you know, for a non-holiday dinner, right? But when it's a holiday dinner, you know, or if it's just a party in general, you gotta have the breadcrumbs on top, you know, gotta be the homemade, can't come out of a box. But if it's like that, you know, the breaded homemade mac and cheese is my favorite side dish, and that goes for Christmas as well. Going into that. So now moving on to the question I got from the YouTube video that I sent out, you know, celebrating, you know, hitting 1,000 subscribers the other day. And the one question I was asked is from Noah Jitsu, who asked me, you know, if there was some tips on how to grow a channel on YouTube. And, you know, I really gotta say, you know, the most important thing, you know, is consistency, you know, and knowing, you know, what your audience is necessarily. You know, if you're trying to go all over the place, you know, you're gonna be really spread out thin. You know, it's gonna be hard for your audience, you know, to be really sucked in, unless you know, a few people can do it, you know, that have the personality, but not everybody's like that. So, you know, focus on a niche, you know, for right now, and then trying to expand when you have an audience that's loyal to you. But also in doing so, you know, you don't have to wait until you have everything you need to start out the channel. When I first started off mine, I literally did everything, and I mean literally everything on my smartphone, you know, when I first started off this channel out. You know, I had, you know, my phone record games, you know, and I didn't even have a stand. I just had 2 boxes put together, and they just magically stayed still long enough for me to get my game in. And then on top of that, I also did editing on my phone, and of course I didn't really worry about thumbnails. I didn't know how to do thumbnails back then. That was something that I had to learn on my own, and still trying to learn to a degree. But you don't need everything, you know, possible in order to start your channel. You know, consistency is key, you know, because when you're starting those first videos, you know, not to be rude, but honestly, your first videos at first, because my first video sucked, right? You know, it's probably going to be the same, you know, for a lot of people that start their own channels, you know, but that's okay, because they want to see a body of work and being consistent. That's when those OG subs are going to come in. And then after that, you know, you just got to get focused on getting a little bit better every single time out. And that's how, you know, that's how I built this channel. You know, thankfully I've been pretty lucky, you know, with some great collabs since I started. But, you know, yeah, man, like, you don't need everything. And, you know, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you know, go for it, man. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. Next question that I do have, though, is from Fitness with T. She asked me, why are you so handsome? And, you know, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's really, I guess it's in the genes, I guess. I guess I was really lucky with the gene pool, I suppose. You know, I definitely appreciate the flattery. Actually, by the way, guys, that is actually my fiance on YouTube. She has a fitness channel, so if any of you guys are into fitness, you know, go ahead and check her channel out. And if you do like what you see on there, you know, go ahead and give her a subscribe. You know, let her know that JohnJake Gaming sent you. You know, I'll leave her link in the description if you want to check it out. But yeah, I guess I was just lucky with the gene poll. Alright, and then the last question that I got is from Johnny Kilo one more time. He asked me, you know, if the series have you done, what was the hardest to put together in terms of ideas and editing? So from a time constraint standpoint, you know, I really have to say the ACSA was the toughest, just because, you know, after, you know, getting 130 teams, you know, trying to assign conferences to each one of those squads to try to make it as, you know, make sense geography wise as possible. And then also the time it takes, you know, record those videos and then, you know, edit it down, you know, 10 games over a course of the week. You know, it does take some time, but I love that series, so it's no problem whatsoever. Particularly the prime time games between top 25 teams, you know, playing up against each other whenever I have the time and turn that into a premiere. I love interacting with you guys. But, you know, the ACSA is probably, you know, the most difficult, you know, in terms of, you know, effort. But I definitely love it, and there's some things I'm working on right now for season 2 that's gonna make the series so much better after we get through the inaugural season. Can't say what it is yet because it isn't set in stone or if it's confirmed to happen, but if it does happen, I think you'll really like it, not only for the ACSA, but to represent the Maximum Football Gaming community as a whole. I think you guys will enjoy that. So that was the last question that I actually have for my 1K Q&A. So now I just want to take the time to talk about what I have planned for the channel going into the winter of 2020. Moving into 2021, hitting that 1K mark, that was a big goal that I have. Trying to get to that 1,000 subs, and hopefully by the end of this year, if we get enough watch hours, can get monetized as well. That was something that I was really shooting for as well, because I love doing this, and if I can make some extra money off it, that's really cool too. At the end of the day, but let's talk about some of these series, man. Obviously, Bluffton Beavers, that's not going to be going anywhere right now. Just started recording season 2 the other day, about a quarter way through season 2. I just got to edit those down, so season 2 is on the way. You might see an episode later tonight actually, so make sure you tune into that as well. But after the Bluffton Beavers series is over, I'm going to end the series when we win a national championship. This is probably going to be the last series I'm going to do involving either the Xbox 360 or the PS3. At least for right now. Won't say it, for certain. But it's a couple of console generations old now. As much as I love NCAA 14, a lot of the stuff that, I want to do creativity wise, has already been done by something else. And the game is 7 years old. It's had a good run, and I will come back to it eventually, especially when the college revamp model is completely done. I know there's some great folks working on it right now, but beyond that, I'm trying to get my hands on the PS5, to be honest with you guys. Don't know if I'll get it really soon or not, just because it's harder to get a PS5 than it was to get toilet paper, just to start this thing when we started COVID-19 in the first place. But if I do get a PS5, want to have more 2K, and Madden, for the new console generation, just because want to take the channel to the next level, and also want to get more involved on Twitch as well. I do have a Twitch channel, but I don't use it very often. I want to try to get more involved on Twitch as well. So hopefully we can get that done. Now, as for the ACSA, I do have a question, you guys, about the ACSA. I know it started off, getting a ton of views, but it has really dipped off, over the course of the series. I know the last primetime episode only got 50 views, and you usually does a lot better than that. So I guess if you're a subscriber to the channel, just wondering why, maybe the ACSA for some of you has lost interest among you, if you can maybe give you some tips and pointers to, rekindle that interest, let me know down in the comments. It's not going anywhere because I really do love the ACSA, and with the effort that's put in, love to keep it going as long as the interest is there, because I know there's some subs, that really love, what's been going on with it right now, and want to keep it going, whether it's on Twitch or if on YouTube. But yeah, man, I guess that's really what it is. Once we get the PS5, you can maybe see, potentially a My League coming to the YouTube channel for the very first time as well. Gonna do an expansion league team. Don't know what yet, if we do decide to do so. But we got some great things going for the channel, man. I'm excited for 2021. But that's going to do it for me, actually. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and had a great Thanksgiving as well. Again, thank you guys so much for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, because I couldn't have done it without the community that we are trying to build around this YouTube channel. And, hopefully, we continue to build this community, bring in more people that, love sports in general, just like you guys all do. And, from the bottom of my heart, you guys are the reason why I make YouTube videos. It's because of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. But with that being said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This is JohnJake Gaming on the mic, signing off. Take care, everybody.